Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking in to watch or listen to today's podcast episode on singleness. We do just want to let you guys know that we did experience some technical difficulties with the mics more near the beginning and the end of the podcast episode. So bear with us, but we do think there's lots of great content in this podcast. So we hope you enjoy.
Well, hey everyone, welcome to our Good Company podcast. I'm Michael and this is Grace, and we are so excited for today's
So
podcast
excited.
episode. Okay, so we've done two so far.
Yes, we've done
Dating
two.
and
Gossip.
Little tea, little juice.
Little
That
tea.
was fun.
Yeah.
Today we are talking about something that both of us know really well, some more than others. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
We are talking about singleness.
That was crazy.
Here's the deal. I'm 40. I'm going to be 41 in May, but I got married when I was 38. I was single for a very long time. Grace, yesterday you actually were on a panel. You were.
I was on a panel.
And you were talking about singleness. That
Yes.
was a panel of
It was
people
a
different
dating couple, a married couple, and me to
Okay,
talk about singleness.
Let's dive in. How did you feel being the person who was representing singleness?
Yeah.
When you were asked, when you were up
I
there?
will be so honest.
Yeah.
I was a little bitter. I was like, sure. Like, I felt God was like, do it. But I was like, oh my gosh, something feels embarrassing about it. And it shouldn't feel embarrassing, but something felt embarrassing. But I did it. And I know that there are a lot of people in the crowd who can relate. So a lot of us are going through it. And I don't want it to feel embarrassing anymore.
Yeah.
Wait, Michael, sorry. I have
Okay.
like a funny thing. So there's a Vogue article out right now. Some
Okay.
people might know this. And I think it's like Vogue 2026. I don't know. Having a boyfriend is embarrassing. 2020.
Having a boyfriend is embarrassing.
Right?
Okay, explain.
That's all I know.
You just looked at the article.
I didn't read it, but there's this trend going around of like having a boyfriend is embarrassing in 2026.
Really? Is having a girlfriend embarrassing?
I don't
I
know.
want to advocate for the men right now.
I don't think having a girlfriend's embarrassing, but
Having a boyfriend is embarrassing.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's just a little
think
pop culture for you.
we're going to have a lot of listeners to the singleness podcast if having a boyfriend is embarrassing.
Right. More listeners. There you go.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's just dive
Let's dive
into
in.
singleness.
Yeah.
Okay, so first we're talking about singleness. I just kind of want to define what we mean
Yeah.
by singleness. So singleness, we are not meaning you're like you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, even though boys are embarrassing to date right now.
They're so embarrassing.
According to Vogue. But we are defining singleness by not currently not even going on a date with someone. You have no one.
Your phone is dry, as they say.
Phone's dry.
Yeah.
You're not swiping right.
You're not.
That's where do all apps swipe right?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, I don't know. But also, I think you're still single, even if you're on the apps.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Agree. I 100%
I
agree.
think we're talking
If you're talking to someone on the apps you matched, you're still single.
very single because you have no idea where that's
I
going.
feel like you're still single even after the first date when you just kind of cold meet someone on an app.
Yes.
Still single after the second date, you're still single.
No.
I think after the third date, you're still single, unless you're excited for the fourth. Right?
That's tea. No, I don't think so. I think you're single until you are exclusive and they call you boyfriend, girlfriend.
You're right.
Right?
Exclusivity, it's a different timeline.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Point being, if you are not exclusively seeing someone right now, that is the definition of singleness. Now, singleness is an important conversation that we want to talk about because a lot of people are single. Grace and I are a part of Blackhawk Church's college ministry. A lot of people in college and in the young adult age are single. Again, I'm older. I remember people saying this is going to be sick for you. But when I was younger, I remember a mentor saying 98% of people will end up being married.
Yeah.
And so that helped me when I was just younger, single in the early 2000s, right when you were born.
Yeah.
And now I've seen articles saying that out of Gen Z, 1 in every 4 will remain single.
Forever?
According, I don't know, maybe Vogue wrote this.
Yeah, they're against us.
I wonder if
That is Like a drastic change.
It's a drastic change.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, point being, it's a very, very relevant conversation to be having. And with that, what does it mean to be a follower of Jesus and be single? What is the wrestling behind it? Maybe you are interested in Jesus, you're learning more about Jesus, or you're following Jesus, and you are single and you're actually thriving.
Yeah.
You're thinking like, man, I'm growing closer to God. I'm
Yeah.
living like my best life right
Yeah.
now. Maybe you don't want to be single forever. And some of you are listening and it's not a good season. You see people with other people and you're thinking like, why don't I have? And you can just be somewhere in between. Maybe you just got through a breakup and you're okay being single.
Yeah.
Or school is just really, really complex, or your new job is really complex. And someday you'll probably date, but right now you're okay. No matter where you're at, the reality of where you're at with a relationship, whether you have one or you're not, that kind of drives a lot of your thought space.
Thinking, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I always say like dating and romantic relationships for some reason takes up like so much real estate in people's brains. Like I truly believe like it is something we focus on more than I don't know if this is just girls, but it's something we focus on more than like any other thing.
I would say that as a man, when I was in my 20s and 30s, being single, some of my most intentional and intense prayers were around why, God? Why do you have someone for me? So it's important. So here's what we want to do. I would love for both of us just to kind of share like our journey in singleness, highlights, lowlights. Do people say lowlights?
Yeah. Yeah. Some people say poopsicle popsicle. Have I told you that?
I've heard that.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll share the popsicles and you share the.
Okay. No, it's not fair.
I'll start. So you might have already heard a lot of my life I was single. So I came from a household that it was hard to experience, love and acceptance for different reasons. And yeah, it was pretty difficult. And a lot of it was just in the relationship that my mom had with myself and my brothers and my sister. I'm thankful to say that we have a good relationship with her now. Like God has moved in our family in such a big restorative way where a lot of people probably don't have that type of a resolution, but I have, and I'm grateful for that. But in my 20s, man, I just knew that if I were to rush into dating someone, it would have been dangerous because I needed healing. Like I went to a lot of counseling and different therapy around just kind of my relationship with my mother, seeking healing, and what does it look like to relate with women well.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my college and 20s, I didn't date that much, but I did go on dates. Um, a lot of my dates, like I would date someone would ask me out, that would happen, or I would ask them out, and we would go 1, 2, 3, 4 dates. And the moment we became like official, usually around month 3, this guy went slow.
That's
I would
good.
freak out.
Interesting.
And I would usually back up. There was something in my mind that would, and I think a lot of guys do this, we go to the way we run the ball down the field and think like, okay, like what if I have to marry this person and commit to them? And commitment was just such a scary thing that I would just like my prefrontal cortex would get flooded and I would back out. Wasn't that healthy. And it wasn't until I started dating my now wife, Cassie, when all of that kind of flooding thoughts came. Um, one of my best friends, he was like, hey man, stop thinking about tomorrow. Stop it. Did you have a good date with Cassie today? I'd say yes. He's like, don't think about tomorrow. Know that you enjoyed her company, you had a great date, and you just can't wait for the next one. End thought.
Yeah.
And he's like, when you get to the point where you might consider marriage, that will be from a natural place of really wanting to be around her and actually getting to the place where you don't want to not be around her. And so I finally naturally came to that place and it was easy,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I've dated a lot of different people. I've gone on, man, I've probably been on like 100 dates with
That's
different people in my 20s and
crazy.
30s.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot about myself in all of my dating. I learned like nothing is wasted unless you make it wasted. I learned a lot about what I was looking for in someone, what I wasn't looking for in someone. I learned a lot about how to treat someone and how not to treat someone. Yeah, it wasn't wasted, even though there was a lot of hard times to dating. But I think the last thing that I'll say is that there were moments in just my singleness where I actually really, really loved being single.
Hmm.
I got a lot out of it, and there were moments where it was the hardest thing being single. And sometimes the difference between that would just be a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it would be like a month where I'm like, I love being single. And then like a 6 month stretch where it was the worst thing. And I was just like beating on God's chest
Mm,
saying, like, where is my wife? There were moments where I wasn't dating anyone and I would pray for my future wife. I would
mm,
pray that she would be pursuing God and
mm.
all of that. So hills and valleys, and I learned a lot. There were bright moments to it and really hard
Yeah.
moments. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good. Thanks for sharing that. That's so good. I think a lot of people can probably relate just to that high and low valley that comes with it. For me, I'm 25. So I didn't date at all in high school. Like that was just like not for me. My parents had a rule you couldn't date till you were 16, but like I extended that to like 18 because I was like, no.
You piled on the rule.
Well,
I'll see your
I
little thing.
I'll add to
Hey, 2 more years.
yeah. No, yes. But it was because it felt like a really safe way to like have an out if someone asked me out. Oh, I'm so sorry, like I'm just not
So
allowed.
it's kind of like I'm going out with my friends. Your parents are like, be home by 10.
Yeah.
You're like, maybe by 8.
8. My parents said I had to be home by 8. Sorry. But anyway, so I came into college feeling pretty embarrassed about that actually for some reason. So I did a lot of going on dates like my freshman, sophomore year of college, like talking to this guy, like kind of just trying to like fill that feeling of feeling embarrassed and wanting affirmation and not wanting to be the weird girl who's never had a boyfriend and things like that. And then it was, I think, my sophomore or junior year of college, I got into a pretty serious relationship that lasted almost 2 years. That was on and off. And then I had one right after that, not a long turnaround, another pretty serious relationship that lasted like a year and a half. So it's actually been the first time the last 6 months, it's been the first time probably in like 5 years, 4 to 5 years that I've been single for an extended amount of time. So this is like a newer journey for me. And I will just say it's hard. Like it really is hard. I feel like I almost am like detoxing from the feeling of like getting so much affirmation. Like it is like I just long or just have those routines of having communication with someone or someone to do something every weekend or just that like safety net of another person who like is choosing you. Like it feels different with friendships and family. Um so I'm really in the place where I'm trying to get like be good on my own and like I would have said I was a confident, good on my own, like independent woman, but until you like actually have to be and like you're not with someone, I feel like that's getting put to the test because it really is uncomfortable to have no weekend plans and be like, okay, I can either mope around or I can do things I've always wanted to do. So yeah, I'm like currently in my season of singleness and figuring out what that looks like. And I just think it's been really cool to see how when you don't have anyone to go to relationally, when you're struggling or hurting, like God kind of is the second, like not, he should be the first person I go to, but when I'm in a relationship, a lot of times he isn't. And so right now it's been really cool to see how like he is the first person I go to with all of those struggles.
Talk more about that, Grace. I would love to hear. There's a relationship gap or, you know, not having a boyfriend and wanting to go to someone and making the decision to go to God. What does that journey looked like in your current stint of singleness? And
Mhm.
how have you grown or not grown
Yeah.
in God?
Yeah. It It's really difficult. Like it it feels super unnatural at first. And I think I'm in this tension of like I feel like I'm in a good place to enter another relationship. Like I don't feel like, oh man, I need to take some more time. Like I feel like at any point like I would be ready for someone or whatever God has for me. but also I don't want to like rush that and miss what God has for me now. So it's just being like grateful for like I think it's a lot of just trusting that God has my best interests at heart and time like I'll never get this time back where I can just talk to him, where I can just go on a walk and pray to him, where I can like not be on my phone for 4 hours just like worshiping or I mean that's a little dramatic. That would be awesome. But like that I don't have to apologize to anyone. I don't have to answer to anyone. So I think it is really valuable, but it doesn't take away that like we're made for connection, that like yearning for human connection and specifically I think romantic connection is like super elevated in our culture. So it's definitely a hard journey, but I feel like I know God is doing it for a reason, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I remember right before I met Cassie, I was in counseling and with my counselor, I was in a valley, a deep
Mm,
valley with being single. I didn't want to be single. And for me, um, I didn't want to be 40 and single. There was
mm,
something about 40 in
40.
the corner. I didn't want to do that because
Yeah.
I felt like, okay, if I'm 40 and single, what if I'm 45 and single? What if I'm 50? Always dreamt of having a wife and a kid. In
Mm,
fact, my first car that I got,
yeah.
I didn't buy a car that would go fast, look great, whatever. I bought a car with the back seat that had like a child seat anchor because when I was 21, I knew I was going to have a
I
car
love
with kids.
that. Yeah.
And I ended up, after 10 years, getting a new car. I never used it.
Mm,
Really hard. And the reality that 40 was a couple years away when I was talking to my counselor, I was devastated.
no, yeah.
And I was looking for her to be empathetic and be like, yeah, that sucks, but you'll make it.
Mm.
But she challenged me, which I was not expecting in the valley. She
Yeah.
said, Michael, is Jesus enough? And I thought, okay, here we go. You're trying to say like marry Jesus
Yeah,
instead. Is
God
he
will fulfill
enough?
you
God
perfectly.
fulfill you. And I was getting ready to combat it with, Jesus, like it's important for us for some of us to find that spouse. Like it's actually a God ordained
Saying it's
thing,
a
being
desire
married.
in
It's a
us.
desire.
Yeah.
And I was ready to combat that. But she said, she's like, she knew I was going to go there. And she's like, hold on. What I mean is, if you were 45 and you are still single and not married, is Jesus enough? If you're
Mm,
50 and still single, is he enough for you? Like, is his presence and who he is enough to sustain you and fill you?
mm,
And I mean, I've been a pastor for like 10, 15 years at that point, and I told her no. I
yeah.
said, he's not.
Yeah.
And those were really, really, really hard words to say.
Mm,
And I followed it up with, but I want it.
yeah.
So I remember 3 weeks, it was in the summer, every day I would go on a prayer walk and I would wrestle with God.
Mm,
I would say like, man, I trusted you with bringing someone to me or whatever that looks like. And it hasn't happened. Like I've
mm,
given everything to you. Why?
yeah.
And then I finally came to the point where I just kind of like let go. And
Mm,
I was like, okay, God, I really want this. I don't have this. Ultimately, you I want you to be my everything. I want you to be my God. I want to give everything to you.
wow.
So I laid that down. It was the scariest thing
Mm-hmm.
to lay down. And I'm not saying that this is prescriptive for people to do
Yeah.
to find a husband or wife, but for me, it was freeing because like that deep void, I felt like I'd filled it in a way
Wow.
to where like I wasn't feeling less than when I was the
Mm,
third wheel in like a hangout with a married couple or a dating
yeah.
couple. I was more confident in who I was and who was God was calling me to be today. I
Mm,
didn't feel less than because I didn't have a significant other. I felt
yeah.
fulfilled because God had a plan for me today. And then after that, I did find Cassie.
So interesting.
Yeah, it was a weird story to where someone tried to set me with their sister and she ghosted me. So I downloaded every
Oh yeah, you
not
said this.
helping.
Yeah.
I think I said this in the dating one. Downloaded every like app and
Just
then
went swipe crazy.
swipe crazy. And I'm like, what am I doing? I don't want to ghost Cassie. And bada bing, bada boom, we got married, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it was really helpful for me because it, like, kind of what you were saying, it made me confront, like, is Jesus enough relationally for me, even though someday I desire to be with
Yeah.
someone? And
Yeah.
for me, I'm not saying this is prescriptive for other people. For me, I needed that because going into a relationship and now marriage with Cassie, there are moments where, I mean, I love my wife and I know Cassie loves me, but she cannot complete me.
Yeah.
Being married, it's not what rom-coms, The Bachelor, definitely not Love Island, Love is Blind. It's not what culture feeds you, that
Yeah.
person will fill you,
Mm.
and then whenever you're with them, it's like
Everything's great. You're
everything's great.
happy.
It's the opposite. Being in love with someone is every day waking up and saying, I choose you.
Yep.
It's not a feeling. A lot of times you don't feel it because we're selfish.
Yeah.
A lot of times you want to choose you, but it's a sacrificial thing saying, I made a covenant and a commitment that even though I don't feel like it, even though you might be irritating me right now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's probably me irritating Cassie more than Cassie irritating me,
Good.
but I make the decision outside of what feel to put you first. And I feel like I can do that better because my foundation has
Hmm.
been built off of Jesus giving to me.
Yeah.
So it's not perfect,
Yeah.
but I personally needed that.
It's so interesting too because like even as you say that, like I feel my heart rate like go like duh, I don't think he's enough, like I
It's like
feel like
jump off that cliff.
yeah, it is so scary to like let go of that and be like, okay, like
Yeah.
what you have. I think something that comforts me is like knowing like as you get to know God's character and get to know him, like if you truly let go and trust him, like he isn't a God that wants you to have a miserable life and never be happy and be lonely forever. Like maybe it's not a wife or a partner, but like trusting that he will fulfill every like ache in your heart and wants you to be like he wants what's best for us. He doesn't
Yeah.
lead us into less, he leads us into more. So just like letting go and trusting like he wants to do bigger and better things in my life than I could even dream of.
Yeah.
Um it's comforting to me when I get confronted with that like really scary question of like is God enough?
But here's the deal too, like in a relationship, both of you need to show up and give each other attention, give self.
Mhm.
In your relationship with God, you need to show up too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a relationship with
Hmm.
God where he's going to show up. The question is, are you going to show
Yeah.
up to him? And you grow in your relationship with God when you are active in that
Yeah.
relationship. And just like if you are going to have a healthy relationship with someone, you need to text them, you need to call them, you
Mm.
need to FaceTime, you need to meet with them, you need to go
Yeah.
out on dates, you need to give them attention. Like God is a jealous God and he
Mm.
wants that from us, not because he needs
Needs
it
it.
from us,
Yeah.
but he loves us so much that he wants to be in relationship with
Mm.
us.
Mhm.
And the beautiful thing is that when we date someone, we can actually bring our relationship with God
Mm.
into
Mhm.
that dating relationship, where instead of taking from each other, we can take from God and give to each other.
Yeah, it's so good, and I think, like, that's why I mean, it sounds so cheesy kind of, but, like, the seasons of singleness in your life are so important because it's not like, "Oh, yeah, that's a great idea, like, once I get into a relationship, I'll totally put God in the center, and I'll totally be filled by God." Like, if you don't practice that without a person, without the added need of needing to pour out to someone else, like, there's no way you're gonna be great at that if you haven't practiced that while you're single.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think most people want to end up with someone.
Mhm.
I think there's something that's in the depths of our hearts being human. We want that relationship.
Mhm.
We want to be one with someone.
Mhm.
And I think that stems out of like our relationship with God. Like God designed us to be in relationship with him.
Yeah.
And then he created humanity to be in relationship with each other.
Yeah.
God is a communal God. He's a Trinity. And so we are being created in his image. Genesis 1:27 talks about that. We are created in the image of a communal God. And so we image God the best when we're in community. So there's
Mhm.
a few things I want to say to that to our single brothers and sisters listening right now. One, that you embrace that you are created for community.
Yeah.
If you are in a season of singleness, you still need to be in community.
Yeah, it's not
You-
isolation.
It's not
Yeah.
isolation. Um, if I mean, I'll speak specifically to Black Hawk language or different church language. If you're not in a community group, get in a community group.
Yeah.
And if you haven't found one that fits for you, be on the lookout. Find one. If you are lonely on a Friday night, text someone. Be proactive. In the seasons that I felt like I was really, really single, I was really putting myself out there with community, texting friends, organizing
Yeah.
things, not out of desperation, but out of leaning into my imageness
Yeah.
that we are to be in community. And with that, if there were people that were dating, I was a third wheel and I was okay with that. I'm not
Yeah.
saying everyone has to be that,
Yeah.
but I also wanted to be hanging out with godly couples because I wanted to learn how to do it well.
Huh.
Here's pro tip dating advice. Don't get dating advice from single people. I mean, you can, and that's not to diminish, but the best dating advice you can get is from like a godly couple who's been dating for a while or married,
Married. Yeah.
and you're like, I want that.
Yeah.
How do I have something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Use your single season intentionally.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like gather information, learn tools, learn skills. Something that I think would be interesting for you to comment on, Michael, is like I just think a lot of people like the Bible doesn't really speak to dating and how to date well. I know this is like a singleness talk, but I think like there's something where it's like I don't even know, like they were doing arranged marriages, they were doing like
Yeah.
it was just such a different context. So can you speak to like what dating and singleness in like American culture looks like and like how the Bible is different and just like that connection?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for bringing that up.
Mhm.
Bible. So the Bible, we say this at Blackhawk, the Bible wasn't written to us, it was written for us.
Mhm.
What do I mean by that? This is 2026. Vogue is saying it's the year. What was it? The year of,
Having a boyfriend is embarrassing.
yeah. Oh my God. Vogue. Anyways, 2026, we have AI now, computers, cell phones, English language is something that both of us are talking.
Yeah.
All of those things, even the English language
Didn't
wasn't
exist.
present
Yeah.
in the New Testament times, or even before the New Testament, Old Testament. So Old Testament, it was written, the Bible is like a library of 66 books
Mhm.
written in different languages to a different people group that couldn't be more different than us today.
Right.
And so, in order to approach this book well,
Mm.
we have to understand who it was written to and try to translate what it means for us.
Right.
For example, if you go to the Bible for dating advice, you're going to be out of luck.
Yeah.
Because dating wasn't a thing when the Bible was written, from Genesis to Revelation,
Yep.
Old Testament to New Testament. The thing that was predominant was arranged marriages.
Yep.
Marriages it was more of like a business transaction.
Right.
And kind of like a general overview, which there was a lot of exceptions. It would be like two families. Typically, it was the father that would initiate this with the father of a different family. Basically, they would want their families to be in some type of agreement so that their kids and their families could survive.
Yeah.
And like a father of one family would say, like, hey, I have a son, you have a daughter. Let's arrange their marriage so that they can grow up with, in just a partnership with our families,
Mhm.
and where they can have, and hopefully they can have kids where their kids can work the farm and be able to sustain life. It was like a business
Yeah.
transaction. Nothing about dating, nothing about romantic dating. Romance wasn't really a part of it.
Didn't like they weren't considering that
They weren't
probably at
considering
all.
it. They
Yeah.
just wanted to survive. It was
Yeah.
a part of how, it was a part of their economic everyday function as
Hmm.
an Israelite, as a
Yeah.
person. So now our culture is dramatically different. Our culture says, hey, like, find someone.
It's
Hey,
the most important thing you
it's
can
the
do.
most
Yeah. It's
important
like the
thing. We want to
highest.
attract someone.
Yeah.
We don't want to be lonely. We want to share our life with someone.
Yeah.
The Bible, like, this wasn't even in the biblical
No.
authors' minds, like the 21st century reasons behind dating. So we're gonna have to be able to code switch.
Mhm.
And so just going into different scripture when we read it, we have to say, okay, this isn't written to me, but the Bible's ultimately for me growing in God. So how can I pull different things that look like relational advice
Mhm.
into like strengthening my walk with God and my walk with other people
Mm.
and who I could date?
Yeah. Yeah, that's so interesting. I know we were kind of processing this before, and you had some strong feelings about a
I got on a soapbox.
He got on a soapbox, and so I just want to bring this up because I was like, obviously I'm single, so I like process like what I'm looking for and how to do it well, and like what does it mean to date, and like do I put myself out there? Do I like wait for a guy to approach me? Like this whole thing, and I was telling him how like I've heard in Christian culture and Christian media of like, well, like you need to stay hidden, women, because your face, you need to stay hidden because the verse, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing," and I've listened
18:22, I think.
Yes, and I've listened to podcasts and different speakers and people who are great and give like, we're not knocking those people, but I have taken that as like okay, like I just need to sit back and like wait, and like someone will find me. Like I don't, which feels kind of like I'm out of control. Like I don't know, like I'm sad, I'm in this season, and I have to sit here.
Well, I get why having a boyfriend would be a disappointment
Yeah,
because these guys probably aren't finding.
they're not finding. They're
I think you said it so eloquently for this podcast, but I think it was more like, Grace, why aren't you dating someone?
Yeah.
You're like, what are you doing? He's gonna find me. And I
Yeah.
said, what are you talking about? He's gonna find you. And you're like, well,
I'm like,
finds a wife, finds a good thing. Like,
did I say it like that?
yeah.
Oh, that's embarrassing. No, it's okay.
Very like pure way. You're like, well, a man has to pursue me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's not what the Bible means.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had this conversation that I want to have again. So again, the Bible wasn't written to us, it was written for us. Proverbs is wisdom literature.
Yeah.
Proverbs is saying this is what it looks like to live a wise life. It's not saying this is how you are to live your life.
Mm.
So this passage, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. It's more saying like, hey, if you have a good wife, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he who finds a wife, if you put it into the context that the
Yeah.
Bible's being written to the people, I mean, you could literally say, if your father finds a good wife for you in a business transaction,
you found a
and
good
she's
thing.
a good wife,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing.
Yeah. It's so interesting when you put it in that context because it's like, well, no one was doing that. No one was going out and being like, okay, who am I going to pick?
No.
Yeah.
And I mean, so women, if you were listening to me right now and you were waiting for a guy to find you, why? I mean, I get it. Like, I get it. Like, there is an aspect of wanting to be wanted, which is a beautiful thing. I think of a couple things in the Bible if we want to use the Bible as a counter argument. Ruth,
Mm-hmm.
in Ruth chapter 3, she actually was active in pursuing and making her known and available to Boaz.
Mm-hmm.
And she was praised for that. That was seen as a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Different people can use Proverbs 31, which it talks about like this ideal kind of woman.
Yeah.
In like positive or negative light, but attributes that are true to the Proverbs 31 woman is she is active. She does.
Hard worker. Yeah.
And she's a hard worker. She's not waiting for a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sees what she needs and wants and she gets it.
Yeah.
And Song of Psalms, that's the relationship kind of spicy book of the Bible that Christians don't like to talk about. But it's a really good book. It's this mutual giving and being active of two people towards each other. So you can wait, but is that what God wants for you? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you're in a season where you were just you're in a relationship and you're not, and you need to heal. Maybe you're single and you're thinking like, what does it look like to strengthen my relationship with God? Because I feel like that's not strong. And I feel like if I'm supposed to enter into a relationship and give to someone, and I feel like I'm not strong in the relationship that matters most.
Yeah.
I gotta strengthen that so that I can give.
Yeah.
And that's important. But if you're just waiting for someone and it's been a year or two or a month or two, and you're like, when is he gonna come and swoop me off my feet? Maybe you can act.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting because I feel like Christian culture, at least I feel like that I grew up in as like a kid, is just like this narrative of like men don't like it when like we're going into like men and women stereotypes here. Yeah.
We're moving into that section.
We're moving into that. stereotypes. And like men, and maybe this is true for men don't like it when women pursue them. Like girls, you can't be too much. Like never make the first move. The guy's got to ask you on a date. So there is this like helplessness of like, well, I'm not loving the season I'm in. And I feel like I've been told all my life, like, I need a strong man who pursues me, who chases after me, which in a sense, I want that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's this weird tension of like, I want that. I've been told that, but like, nothing's happening. Like, can you speak to like the guy side of that?
Grace, most guys are clueless.
Which is so funny to me because I'm like, it's so obvious.
At least, okay, guys, if you're listening to me, you're like, oh, I'm going to turn this off because I'm not clueless. You're clueless. I'm clueless.
You're all clueless.
Clueless. I mean, maybe we're not, maybe you're not. Maybe you're the guy that's not clueless. And I don't mean to like rag on guys. I'm a guy. Here's an example. I had a really, really good friend. She was a girl, total friend zone. We were both intentional. This was when I was 22.
Okay.
And friend zone, good friends. And I remember us going to the mall.
Yeah.
And then we went out of a store and she's like, Michael, did you see that? And I said, what? She said, 3 different girls were checking you out.
You had no idea.
And I was like, what? Stop it. I had zero clue.
Interesting.
Zero clue.
Okay.
Okay, this is so bad. I can't believe I was saying this. I don't think this girl would ever listen to the podcast.
I don't know what you're about to say.
No one does.
I'm so excited.
This is so embarrassing. So I was a college young adult pastor in California.
I'm nervous.
There's a big group, and there was this girl who was a leader.
Okay.
And she was a friend. She didn't want to be my friend. I didn't know that she didn't want to be my friend.
She wanted more.
I friend zoned her completely in my mind without having the conversation that we're friends.
Right.
So we would hang out in friend groups. She was nice. She was funny. She would make me laugh. Total friend zone.
Okay.
Then she was like, hey, let's go to this play together. Broadway came in.
Play, that's intimate.
And I was like, yeah, you're fun. Let's go to this play. We went to a play together. We laughed.
Michael.
And then like we went out to eat after.
Michael.
This dragged on for over a month. And then she dropped out of my life. And I was like, where did she go?
Oh.
And a really, really close friend of mine who was a girl, we were friends.
You established that, yeah.
She was like, you dummy. She thought you went on multiple dates.
And then you never said anything.
Never said anything. And she felt like you totally like ran her over.
Oh. You had no idea. Not an inkling.
I had no.
That's so interesting. Wow.
Most of the time the guy doesn't. Maybe they do, but don't assume that they do.
Yeah, that's good.
Here's where like you can be strategic. A wingman.
Yes.
Let's talk about
a wingman.
Talk about a wingman. And I don't want to say all men are.
Or wingwoman.
Sometimes women are clueless. Like,
no, for sure.
Interested in someone, and I've laid down the hints, and they're like, boo.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so we were processing this, and I'm like, there's actually no better wingman, wingwoman situation than your friends who are dating people.
Yes.
So if you're dating someone, be looking out for your single friends because for me, I'm thinking like, okay, my friends' boyfriends, do they have friends? Because ultimately, like, I like my friends, so I'd probably like my friends' boyfriends, probably like my friends' boyfriends' friends.
Yeah.
So I think that is just an underutilized.
Yeah. So if your friend, let's just create a name out of the blue, is Abigail. Your friend is Abigail. Abigail's dating this guy.
Yep.
And you're hanging out with Abigail and her boyfriend, and you're at a group thing, and some of her boyfriend's friends are there. Tell Abigail, hey, I'm kind of interested in this guy. Can you ask your boyfriend if they'd be interested in me? But don't let them know.
Right. I was going to say there's so much tact. So much tact.
Then so he doesn't want to disappoint his girlfriend, Abigail.
No, of course not.
He likes her. He's probably trying to win points. And what better way to win points
than setting up her friend?
Yes.
Yeah.
So be careful.
It could go really wrong. I was going to say, to clarify for people who may put this into practice, don't go up to the guy and say, my girlfriend's friend really likes you, thinks you're cute. Then that makes the girl look desperate. We don't want any of that.
You should be like, hey, have you noticed, Grace?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna say, "No, I haven't."
Yeah.
Probably, or like, maybe.
Yeah.
"Hey, I think she's single. Do you think you'd be interested?" And then something will click in their mind like, "I don't know, maybe I would be." And then just kinda hang out more.
Yeah.
So, help a girl out,
Yeah.
But here's the thing
That's
that
so
I
good.
wanna talk about before we end this podcast. I wanna talk about okay, so when you're single, so many people approach dating differently, and I know
Hmm.
it's kinda bleeding into the dating talk
Yeah,
that we
yeah, yeah.
had, but a lot of people will either wait. A lot of people will say like, "Okay, God, just I pray that you bring someone to me," which is
Mhm.
good prayer,
Yeah. It's
but
the right heart for
but
sure.
so
Yeah.
often there's no action.
Hmm.
People aren't going on dates.
Hmm.
You notice that. Why don't you think?
Yeah, that's a really good it's a really good question. I don't know. I think there's a fear of well, yeah, I think there's a fear of like if I go on a date, you feel like you're like locking in more than maybe you are. Like I don't feel like we do a great and I don't know like
Yeah.
how much of this is healthy, but I don't think we do a great job of like go on one date, maybe go on two dates. Okay, nah, next. Like
Yeah.
make it casual enough that saying yes to a date feels hard sometimes because you're like already going three steps down the road. At least I do of like, okay, well, can I go on a date? Well, do I want to marry them? You know, it's like
Yeah, it's like,
ridiculous.
stop thinking that.
Yeah, right.
Obviously, you're not gonna marry them because you don't even know if you like them.
Right. But I think some people have like, I need to for sure know I like them. I'm attracted to them. Like, I could see them as a dad, like a provide. You know, it's like way too far down the line that it feels really intimidating to
Yeah.
date. And you also just, we don't want to hurt people's feelings. People's
Yeah.
feelings get hurt so much. Someone likes someone else more than someone else. And so it's like, it is complicated and messy. But I feel like the more I'm talking to myself, the more you date,
This is just a podcast that Grace is doing for Grace.
yeah, for me. The more you date, the more you find out like what is important to you.
Yeah.
And so you can't really know fully, other than like biblical values, what you want in a person if you're not seeing the type of people that are out there.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Yep. And here's a hot take that I want to add to this.
Oh, okay. Hot take.
I think, okay, it's a BOGO hot take. It's
Okay.
like a buy one, get one. The first thing, it's just an agreement with you. I think people need to be going on dates more.
Mm.
But we also need to have a normalized, safe culture of dating
Mhm.
to where like, hey, I'm interested, but I'm gonna see if it works out. And if it doesn't, normalize it not working out and the community being open.
And being okay being in the same community and it
Now,
not
if it works,
working
that
out.
is a hard thing, but
Mhm.
a healthy thing.
Mm.
Most healthy things are hard.
Mm.
Here's my BOGO hot take.
Okay.
I would wait to go on the dating scene if you're not comfortable with rejection.
Ow. Yeah.
If you're not comfortable,
Yeah.
reject. And I'm saying rejection, I want to say it softer though. If you're not comfortable saying, hey, I really like you, but I'm not experiencing the chemistry or connection that I need to experience to move forward. Memorize that line, everyone. I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
Hey, it's been so great going out with you these few times. I haven't experienced the connection that I need to continue to move forward, but you're great and I still want to be friends with you.
Mm.
Memorize a line like that. Use it because it's true.
Yeah.
No, and you don't have to give a why. It's okay to be ambiguous.
Mhm.
It's okay to go by connection. I mean, maybe there's a reason and you don't want to say like, it's because I don't like your hairstyle.
Yeah.
That's a stupid reason.
Yeah.
But, you don't need
Yeah,
to get
there's
personal.
yeah, like, "Oh, you're not." Yeah, whatever. It's like sometimes being too direct can hurt people's feelings
Yeah.
unnecessarily.
And the being okay being rejected, like you got to be okay with that. And how are you okay with that? Your relationship with God.
Hmm.
If you are putting in the work
Yep.
to be founded in your identity that you are a daughter of Christ, you are a son of
Yep.
Christ, you have so much value. You have so much value that God Himself died for you
Mhm.
and rose again to give you eternal life. If you understand just a sliver of
Yeah.
that, when that person, quote unquote, rejects you,
Yeah.
says, hey, I'm not experiencing the connection I need, it'll always sting. But the thing that catches you when you're falling is, I am God's daughter.
Mm.
I am God's son.
Mhm.
And I'm going to know that.
Mm.
Know that my identity doesn't come from that person either liking me or not liking me in the way that I want them to or don't want them to.
Mhm.
It comes in who I am in Jesus. Let the sting wash over you. Don't react out of that sting because that's where you
Mhm.
hurt people. Don't go to your friend to try to reclaim your identity and value by saying, "Oh, she's crazy."
Or like, yeah,
Stop saying she's crazy
yeah, yeah.
or he what?
I was just gonna say, like, we often, like, if we get rejected, we try to find a reason why we would have rejected them anyways.
Yeah.
You know?
But just be okay with, I'm not what that person is looking for. That doesn't mean that I am not valuable, and that doesn't mean that I am what someone is currently searching.
That is, Michael, that is so much easier said than done. Like,
Yeah.
I think that is probably, now that I think about it, that's 100% a reason why a lot of people aren't dating, because that sting, like, I feel like if you're single and you're looking and you feel ready and you've decided, like, man, I want to start dating, that feeling of rejection can just set, well, if you're not super healthy, like, can just set you so far back and make you, like, not want to go back out.
100%. When I experience rejection, I mean, I'm married and this isn't in like a my wife kind of rejected me, but I experience community rejection.
Mm,
Different
yeah,
rejections that I've experienced,
yeah.
When I experience rejection, the first thing, it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I want to react. I'll like start to text someone
Mm,
and then I'll be like, Michael, I'll spend time with Jesus.
mm,
I'll seek him and I'll say, God, this rejection really hurts.
yeah.
And I need to process that with him. Whenever there's any rejection, you're going to be hurt
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to be invited to process that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next step is after you process that, hold on to who you are and who Jesus says you are.
Totally.
What's scripture that God says? Like you are
Yeah.
more valuable. You are more than a conqueror. Like
Yeah.
that God's thoughts towards you outnumber the grains of the sand. It's
Mm,
all about you. You're the apple of God's eye. And then just know who you are. And then if you can get to the place where you can give to that person and be in community with them, man, talk about being attractive.
yeah. Talk about being healthy.
And healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to, like, go back a little bit. You just said something about, like, man, like, you using the line of, like, I'm just not feeling the connection I need to feel. I feel like I feel this tension of, like, when I'm getting dating advice or marriage advice from people as someone who's single, it's like, yeah, you'll know when you find the one versus it's just a decision. And sometimes those feel counter, like they don't equal each other. Like there's so many people who are like, it's a feeling, and then it's like chemistry doesn't matter, connection doesn't matter, just find the godliest person you know and marry them.
Hello?
Like,
Sorry.
yeah. So like I genuinely, like, there is a tension there because it's
Yeah.
not just about they're attractive, they're hot, like I feel butterflies, like that can't be the foundation. But how much, for single people thinking about dating, how much can, like, I just want to have fun, there's chemistry, how much can that play into decision making?
Yeah. It's a great question. So first, you said the one. It's hard to go to the Bible and think that God has the one for us
Mhm.
when the Bible was written in an arranged marriage culture.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
we think romantically there's this romantic one for us.
Yeah.
No. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe emotionally you'll find someone and they will feel like they are the one.
Mhm.
But I mean, I think that I don't think that there is a the one out there.
Mhm.
People can disagree with me.
Yeah.
I think there is one that you commit to.
Mhm.
And how do you find that the one? I mean, happy hunting. I don't know,
Yeah, yeah.
I would encourage you to have your top 3 non-negotiables
Yeah, we
that you're
talked about
looking
this.
for.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about that. For me, it was relationship with Jesus, kindness,
Social,
and
right?
social.
Yeah.
Everyone's is different. Hopefully, Jesus is number 1.
Mhm.
And then you're not going to know the person until you date them.
Mhm.
And I've gone on like 100 different dates with 100 different people. Half the time I've broken up with them, half the time they've broken up with
Yeah.
me. It stings. I need some time, but then you dust yourself off and get yourself
Get
back out
going.
there. But also, if you're in a season of singleness, and I'll end with this before we go to our little game,
Yeah.
it's okay to be single.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with you if you're single.
Mm.
And in fact, if you're single, lean into that
Yeah.
space and say, God, in this moment right now, how can you fulfill these needs? How can you fulfill those desires? Because the reality is, if and when you find someone, if and when you get married to them, those feelings are going to fade.
Yep.
They're not going to fulfill those.
Mm.
As a married man, I love my wife. Jesus is the only one that truly fulfills who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But that's beautiful because out of fullness, I'm able to meet
Yeah.
my wife and give.
Mm.
Out of fullness, I can say, like, hey, you're loved. Hey, I'm with you, like wherever she's at and wherever I'm at. It's not perfect all the time
Yeah.
at all. We're messy people, but I would rather, if I want a healthy relationship, give out of fullness
Mm-hmm.
than try to take out of emptiness.
Mm-hmm.
Because a person, they can only be healthy for so long if they're being taken.
Yeah. And like really to the encouragement of the single people, I think something I'm realizing is like, man, that like, I feel like if you do your singleness well, you've got a head start to what that looks like when you're married. And so that doesn't mean if you're dating or you're married and you feel like you didn't do that, that you can't get there. But like, I want to be the type of person who feels so intentional about this season I'm in that can benefit my other season, hopefully someday.
Yeah.
Even better.
All right, here's our game.
Let's do it. This time, I don't know what he asked for me.
The game is called Hot Take or Hard Pass.
Okay, so hot take, clarify, is I agree with it.
Spicy, yes.
Like, yes, let's go. Hot take, like I'm in. And hard pass is like,
nope.
Okay, I got
You're
it.
done. Okay, I have so many of these. So
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to be good or not. I haven't really read them before.
Okay.
Okay, maybe chat help me. Thanks, chat.
Thanks, chat.
Okay, hard take, hard pass. Ghosting is fine if you're not that into them.
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
Because ghosting is never nice. It's never nice. It doesn't take that much effort to communicate. You have your little thumbs, type it out, like
do the hard thing.
Come on.
People don't do the hard thing enough. Woman up, man up, do the hard thing. It's okay if they're hurt. Hurting people is okay. Harming people is
not okay.
Hurting is a part of the game that we all sign up
for when dating. Ghosting is harmful. I feel that way.
Yeah, ghosting is harmful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hot take, hard pass. Texting first is a sign of desperation. You don't know what to say.
Like a woman texting first is a sign that we're desperate?
Texting first is a sign of desperation.
Hard pass. Okay. First of all,
I love how you went to women.
Well, I'm taking that in my context of saying, like, if I'm texting first someone, then I'm desperate. And I'm like, rude. Okay, first of all, no. I think, like we were just talking about, in a woman's context, how is a girl supposed to know? How is a man supposed to know that you're interested if you're not giving anything? If you're read the room, and if you're constantly texting first and they're never responding, and you text them again and again,
read the room.
Read the room. Let's use our like emotional intelligence. Like, we got this.
Yeah.
But I would say hard pass. Like that. Never say anyone's desperate. That's just rude.
Yeah. Okay, I'm totally jumping into gender stereotypes right now.
Okay.
Here we are. I'm just deep diving. My email is gmiller@blackhawk.org if you have any problem.
Oh, like, why are you giving my email?
No, but I have always been flattered when a girl does the first move.
Okay.
Always. I've never not been flattered.
So you've never been like, ew, gross, get away from me.
Every single time a woman, whether I'm interested or not, hope that they would or not, I've been like, oh, everyone wants to be wanted.
That's so true. Yes.
It's flattering.
It's flattering.
And if I don't share that, I'll be like, oh, okay, and now I have to be bold.
Be bold.
And here's the random, important, weird thing to consider. If you're not married, the Bible says that's your brother. That's your sister.
Mm-hmm.
So how I'm going to communicate to my sister that I love, if I don't know them, then I'm not interested in that way. It's my duty to love her in that way. To say like, hey,
give her respect. Give her respect. Totally. You know? That's good. That's good.
Okay. All right. A couple more, then we're done.
Okay.
Hot take or hard pass. You should never date someone more than 5 years older than you. Be careful with this.
I know. You should never date someone 5 years older than you. I don't agree with that. I think I hard pass on that because I think, like, okay, if you're in high school and the person's in middle school, like there's some ages where it gets murky. But I would say, like, if you feel that you're both and at the same maturity level, I really do think age is just a number. That's my personal opinion. Like, I've dated guys younger than me, I've dated guys older than me, and I think, like, age isn't the predictor of if the relationship is gonna go well. So, I don't
I
think
am literally 7 years older.
I don't think it's that important. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like I mean, I'm 40, so I'm 7 years older than Cassie.
Mhm.
She's 33. I don't like doing the math when I was, like, a senior in high
Yeah, you can't.
school.
You can't go there. No, no.
Okay, 2 more. Being single means you can't fully mature socially.
No, hard pass. Since when? When is that a friend? Like, who said that? If anything,
Yeah.
I feel that I am more socially mature because I don't have that safety net next to me and I can just talk to them, you know? Like when you're in a relationship, you have that person. When you're single and you're going into a social space, it's all on you. So I would say you grow some social skills in singleness.
Yeah.
That's
I lied,
fine.
there's 2 more.
Okay, that's fine.
Second to last one. Hot take or hard pass. Marriage is not the ultimate goal. Finding happiness is.
Well, I hard pass on the finding happiness is. I hot take on the marriage isn't the ultimate goal.
Mhm.
I think this is gonna be so Christian-y and whatever, but like doing God's purpose for your life is the ultimate goal. Not yeah, come on.
Pastor G. Milton.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh, I agree.
Okay.
That's good. Okay, the last one. And now all of these have culminated.
Is this the big one?
to this.
I'm
This
so
is-
excited. Wait, I want you to give your opinion on this one too.
On this one?
Yeah.
Watching a Disney movie together is a stronger test than a first.
Oh my gosh. Where did you get this? Watching
It's lame. It's not. No, I'm interested.
what? Wait, watching a Disney movie.
We can't handle that.
That I hated that one. But I think that is not because movies are not good first dates. This is my hot take. I don't think movies are good first dates because you're not actually talking to the person.
You're just watching a movie.
Dumb.
Can I tell you a quick story? This is a long podcast.
Yes.
But I think it's juicy.
It's juicy.
So Cassie, we dated long distance.
Yeah.
The first time she came to Madison, the first time she was at my house.
Oh, I think I know this.
Movie together.
Yeah.
If you don't know that I have a dog named Ollie.
What are you doing?
He's the cutest little guy. He's a little nugget.
He's the best.
He's actually the perfect dog.
Yeah.
So Ollie was on Cassie's lap watching a movie. She wasn't a dog person. She loves Ollie now. He's her family.
Yeah.
She's her mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's his mom.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I was gonna let it go.
so we're watching a movie, and there's this smell.
No.
It smells so bad, and it would come in wafts.
And you're both probably not saying anything.
We're not saying anything. Here's the deal. I knew it was Ollie. He was a tutor.
Yes, we know this about Ollie.
And finally, after the fourth toot, Cassie finally, in a kind way, she's like, "Are you okay, Nicole? Are you like?"
She's so nice.
And I said, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Well, I feel like are you tooting?"
She did it.
And I'm like, "No, that's all."
Oh, she thought it was you.
Said, "Oh, praise God! I thought."
Oh my gosh.
Turns out he has a chicken allergy, and we found out that he should not eat chicken.
Okay, that is hilarious. Poor girl. She's probably like, "Do I need to end this relationship right now?"
Okay, last question.
Okay, last one.
Hot take or hard pass?
Okay.
God only wants you to date someone if they're perfect.
That's a hard pass. Can you imagine? No one's perfect. If you think you're perfect, you're not perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think finding it's this interesting balance of like having high standards and knowing people are not perfect is a really interesting like thing to walk because you should never lower your standards, but you do have to have an awareness that we're broken people and everyone's gonna mess up. So like find someone. This is something my mom would always say. Like you're gonna have little ruptures. Like you're gonna have little fights. You're gonna have little things that like hurt or you have disagreements, whatever. But you need someone who can. Oh dang! Now I'm gonna forget how she says it. Like heal the ruptures quickly. Like someone who's willing to come back and like
That's so true.
reconcile. Like someone who is a quick and willing person who will reconcile because to assume you're never going to fight is crazy. But you want someone. I think the biggest thing you can look for in someone is someone who moves towards conflict in a loving and
100%.
graceful way and wants to be on a team together and fix the little ruptures that are going to happen.
I wanted to end with that because the reality is so many of us, we are looking for someone who's
Yeah,
perfect when it comes to how they look,
totally.
perfect when it comes to their faith,
Mhm.
perfect when it comes to how they are socially,
Mhm.
perfect when it comes to how much money they're going to make. We look for perfection, all the while knowing that we ourselves are not perfect,
Yeah.
never going to be
Yep.
perfect. What's more important than perfect? I mean, communicate. You
Yeah.
talked about that. Like,
Yeah.
find someone who can communicate well,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, we look for perfection when we are not perfect ourselves. Here's the deal. When it comes to looks, when it comes to, someone's like who someone is, when you are in a committed relationship with them,
Huh.
you forget about looks. You
Mm.
forget about all of those
Yeah.
things. You just see the person that God has created that you're committed.
Yeah.
So what if you're single, it's not about being perfect. It's not about them being perfect. It's about being present, about communication, and about putting God first.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll just say too to wrap this up as a singleness episode, something we really do wanna get across is, singleness is not a lesser season, and we know it can feel like that. I know it can feel like that, but, just to be encouraged. We talked a little bit about dating and things like that in this episode, but singleness truly can be such a gift and can be such a great time to really pour into your friendships and to pour into your purpose, to go on trips, to find all the hobbies, to do all these things. And I think Christian culture makes it feel like it's a burden. And I just don't want people to feel that way.
Yep, that's great. All right,
Yeah.
we'll see you at our next episode.
All right.
See
Thanks,
everyone.
guys. See ya.